Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Christmas episode of Threading and Dreading.
You could have like music.
Fa la 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 or grilla.
What?
Sorry, Warcraft reference.
I repeat, you know you're dating him, right?
Oh God. I don't know what.
Just because she's dating him does not mean she has to know all the
Lexicon.
whatever.
No, it's not a matter of we expect her to know everything. Like, she understands. She's dating Mike, right? Like, she's not confused and thinks she's dating somebody else and that he's just the best friend. Like,
Oh, yeah, he's just a nerdy boyfriend. That's okay.
But we have a small special guest with us tonight. Paul brought over his little buddy, Appa.
Appa,
Little
little
buddy.
face
Little
dog.
buddy. How you doing, Appa?
When Appa first met Mike, he hated him.
He did.
That's
was-
because Mike was like, snap, 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 snap,
He
snap.
kept, like, clapping at
and
him.
clapping, yeah.
And Appa's like, what is he doing? He would look at me. I was like, I don't know, dude. He's Kemper's friend.
Aw.
And he
No,
hated
he's a
Robin
good
and
boy.
Ben.
He made his first appearance on our superhero preview little podcast, but
The three
the
podcasts.
3 hour one, good lord.
He made three guest appearances.
Yep.
There's pictures of him on there.
Yep, he's a good boy. And across from me is...
Appa.
Appa.
Yeah.
Okay, behind Appa is...
Me, Kim.
It's Kim!
Ba-da-ba-da.
Again, like, she knows, right? There's no confusion.
She should have her own theme song.
Oh my god, don't even say. You know it'll happen.
If she ever gets into her own reviews, we'll get her own theme song. And across
Like,
from...
Kim's here again. Dun, 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 dun. It's Kim.
For some reason, I feel like if she ever got her own show, it'd be like the Amanda Show from All That. Like, she would
Oh,
come in, be
yeah.
all sweet, and then all of a sudden Kim would be this like,
Amanda.
super bitch tyrant. And we're like, this is not the Kim we know. She's suddenly power crazy and evil. This is weird.
And across from Kim we have...
Appa
Superhuman
again.
Yeah,
Appa again. His
That's
Appa's
his
moving
move.
everywhere.
he's making his
He
rounds.
just wants to be in before every other person.
I'm here. Fuck everybody else. The superhuman aficionado, Paco.
Welcome
Appa's
back,
daddy.
sir. How you doing?
I'm good.
And, you know, the running gag on the show is now that you will never be on a podcast with Karen. Ever. Every time you've shown up, she can't be here. Whenever she's here, you can't show up.
What do you got
Way
against
to-
Karen?
What do you have against
guys.
Karen, huh?
Yeah.
I don't have anything against Karen. It's just, she's Chinese. It happens.
So you have a problem against them. I
Yeah.
see. So
Problem against everyone.
real nice.
I remember when I was hanging out with those guys from Philly. We all went bowling one time, and Karen came up behind me and gave me this big hug to surprise me. And the one guy, Mike, was like, "Paul's gonna kill that girl." Who was that? And Tim was like, "Actually, it's the one person that he allows to do that." I turned around. I'm like, "Who was this touching me?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" We get so excited when we see each other.
Real nice. And next to Paul we have...
We got 3-star Sapphire here.
How you doing, ma'am? And she brought us cookies.
I did. I brought cookies. I was late. I said, I'll be late, but I have
If
cookies.
you bring cookies, you can be as late as you want. It's
Just bring less peanut butter next time.
no,
Oh, I didn't know.
it's okay.
I didn't know you had a peanut butter
But,
allergy.
Paul and I are enjoying our eggnog right now with a little bit of Glenmorangie in it, or Glenmorangie. I don't know how people pronounce it, but
Spiked.
spiked eggnog. Kim and Alison are too cool for school. They don't get alcohol, apparently.
Dude, I just finished dinner. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I just eat a lot of chicken wings.
Chicken wings,
Homemade. Hot wings. Mm.
good pre-Christmas dinner.
Did you bring any for us?
No.
You can sit in the car.
They didn't make it.
You can,
Sorry.
you can sit in the car.
They're gone.
You can record from there.
But seeing as this is the Christmas episode, I didn't have really any proper format here tonight. We're not going to do a whole lot of movie news or anything. I just wanted to discuss Christmas stories, Christmas themes, what you guys had, done in the past as far as Christmas, and what you're planning this year, future years. Just holly jolly shit. Literally holly jolly shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You ever seen Rent? There's a scene in Rent where Collins busts in. He's like, "Merry Christmas, bitches." And they kept running through that scene. And, one of the outtakes, he busted. He's like, "Happy Kwanzaa crackers!"
Nice. Rent is one of those few musicals that did not age well. I mean, I watch that now and I'm like, this is such a 90s.
What the fuck are you talking about? Rent is amazing.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. It's still good. But I'm like, I watch this and I'm like, this is totally a 90s problem.
Who the fuck cares? What in that is a 90s problem?
AIDS.
You know people still have that, right?
Oh, I know that.
It's still pretty rampant.
But no. But
It's a huge issue in my community.
No, it's the issue of like Team America World Police. Everyone has AIDS.
Still kind of a big deal.
I know. I'm look. Okay.
I promise you.
Let me. Okay.
Like top threats like AIDS, black people.
Wow.
Karen.
Wow. Look, I'm not trying to downgrade the significance of AIDS, but what I'm saying is it was one of the biggest fears of the 90s. I mean, people still thought you could get it from like kissing someone, before.
No, that was pretty much cleared up by like the 80s.
No, it was even back then. I mean, they thought that saliva could pretty much transfer it until like the mid 90s.
Okay.
Unlike Family Guy, who apparently thinks it's the worst play on the planet, but
Except the phone's dumb. He's cute. And he's kind of funny sometimes, but he's dumb.
that's awkward silence now. But getting off of that, what Christmas specials have you guys seen so far this year? Because I mean, let me ask this: do you guys like the Rankin and Bass stuff?
The what?
The what?
Rankin and
The
Bass.
stop motion Rudolph.
I mean, I did when I was like young.
Yeah, I did when I was young, but it's kind of a...
It's kind of dated.
You don't watch it for nostalgic
Yeah,
value?
it's kind of dated.
Yeah. It's not really relevant anymore. Like, Ice Creatures, it was kind of a 90s problem.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't have any of those problems now.
So I'm going to leave my podcast now.
There's no clay people anymore. That's not a problem. Once they realized that you couldn't become a clay person from kissing someone, they were just like, oh, no, it's not a big deal anymore. It's good.
No, let's
I still watch them for nostalgic value. I mean, just because I go back and watch some of them now. Like the first Frosty, that is a fucking weird movie. That is a weird 30 minutes of your life. I actually like the sequel to it, Frosty Returns, more than the first Frosty. Because the first one, it is dubbed so bad, the voice acting is so bad. There's just moments where you just hear kids go, "I can bear!" Like, oh my god, what was that? did a kid just have a spasm on set?
I mean, I'll watch Christmas specials for, I don't know, like Today shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I really, like Supernatural style Christmas specials are fucking funny. Mm-hmm. We just watched the Christmas special for Grimm, and it was with Krampus.
Oh,
Krampus was going around.
Yes.
I was like, what is that thing? And then they said his name, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's bad news.
I'd never heard of the Krampus until I saw it on the Venture Brothers.
I heard about it this year, actually.
Really?
I think I'd heard about it by name. I guess I always knew about the demon.
Alison, do you know what the Krampus is?
No.
Okay, Paul, let's explain the Krampus.
Krampus is the evil Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like, there's Santa, who gives gifts to... Santa gets the good list, and Krampus gets the naughty list.
Right.
But Santa got all the lists because he said presents are cold.
He makes
checks it
the...
twice.
If you're
Makes
just
them.
a decent kid, you get coal. If you're one of the evil little bastards, you get visited by the Krampus.
And Krampus puts you in a sack and beats you.
Yes.
Oh.
Krampus is...
And occasionally kidnaps you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Krampus comes from, in Turkey, David Sedaris, one of my favorite authors. He
something
talks
like
about
that,
when he went to Turkey. They believe... or their Santa Claus story is a little different than ours, and I might be quoting this wrong, but he's the ex-archbishop of something. Might be the ex-archbishop of Turkey.
Something like
And
that.
then
Yeah.
Wait, this is the evil Santa Claus?
No, this is their Santa
Their
Claus.
Santa Claus, yeah.
But,
Okay.
So this is their story, and Krampus, it kind of came, parts of it came from Krampus. So he, like, moved to Spain. Like, he didn't go to the North Pole.
Yeah.
And then he comes once a year to either leave gifts in your shoes, which is the Santa part, or shove you in a sack, beat you, and then take you away.
Okay, I remember the gifts in the shoes from a different story because they would get like carrots. You'd leave your shoe under your bed or whatever, next to under the tree or whatever. And then they'd fill it with stuff.
That's disgusting.
What
You smelled
about-
my shoes? Do not put a carrot in my shoes.
Dude, seriously, I was just about to say that. I would not eat any food out of my shoes.
Ever.
It was
Like,
like wrapped candies and stuff.
Okay, if it's wrapped, maybe, but still, if you...
But I'm talking
Ugh.
like poor people.
Still,
Like, poor farmers.
I wouldn't feed
all the
poor
more
people
because they
food
have
out of my
rank
shoe
feet.
either.
All right, it's just a story.
I put my shoes in the coat closet the other day. I cleaned up, and Steve opened the coat closet and said, "Hey, this kind of smells like feet." I was like, "No, it smells like a closet." Do your house smell like feet?
Yes.
Maybe.
Paul's
Yeah,
like,
little bit.
yes, maybe.
It's like, well, I wear black socks. So my feet are pretty rank. I'll
Um,
say, "Oh, baby, my feet hurt," and he'll be like, "Yeah, you need to get those away from me. Go get a shower. We'll talk." Check ass son of a bitch.
but no, the
Rabble.
I remember it was the Venture Brothers Christmas special, and someone, I forget the necromancer's name, Doctor Orpheus, I think is his name. He came in and someone had accidentally summoned the Krampus, but it wasn't like traditional one. Like he went around just like tearing shit up and like humping women, and we're like, and people were like, "What the fuck is going on?" And Orpheus is like, "Oh yeah, that's just the Krampus. Just let him do his thing. He'll leave on after Christmas." And it's like, and he goes up and there's like this chick and he starts licking her and he's like, "He's not leaving me alone. No, just let him be."
No, but like some of like today's Christmas specials are just funny. Like the really inappropriate ones. The one with the Santa bot from
Right.
Futurama.
Right.
Um,
That's his John Goodman, by the way, and that's really good John Goodman right there.
that's John Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Goodman is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite SNL hosts.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Christopher Walken are two of my favorite SNL hosts. The classic SNL hosts. Like
Right.
now, like when I hear Justin Timberlake is in a special, I'm like, I have to see it because that motherfucker is funny.
And we've talked about that before. That guy is so damn talented that you can't hate him.
I
I
like-
hate him, but I can't hate him.
I tried for so long, and then I heard one of his songs. I didn't know it was one of his songs. I was jamming to it one day, and somebody was just like, "That's Justin Timberlake," and I was like, "Oh, curse!"
Damn you, Timberlake!
Shook my fist to the skies. Hey, little boy.
Damn you for being so talented!
And then it's on SNL, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this. You're funny.
Did you see his bit with the 5 host
Yeah.
circle? That was really good. I liked that.
Yeah, the Fifth Timers Club or whatever.
The
that
Fifth
was.
Timers Club, yeah.
And it was like
Dan
Martin
Aykroyd?
Short was like
Martin
a
Short was like a
waiter because
butler.
he was a 4th.
and he came in and they're like, "Don't look him in the eyes." Yeah, that was pretty good. I was surprised that Goodman wasn't in that skit.
Seriously.
That Goodman and Walken weren't in that skit.
Yeah.
No,
Have they been 5 times? They've been more than 5, haven't they?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. One of my favorite Justin Timberlake skits though is the one where he was on the game show with Lady Gaga, and they're talking
I haven't seen
about
this one.
the game show is like who's that person or something.
Uh-huh.
So they like it's like Jeopardy style. So they'll ask him a question, who's that person?
Uh-huh.
So the first one he got was like the cat from that Paula Abdul music video.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next one was some crazy question. And he was like, what the hell? And he's like, I have no idea. And then it was like, the next question is like a guest. So this woman walks out and she's like, we made love the other week after your concert. You told me I was beautiful and to pursue my acting career. And he's like, hey, girl. He's like, well, you're really cute. So your name's probably. And she's like, no, it's not. It's not that at all. And then somebody walks out and they're like, Lady Gaga, yours. And he's like, good luck. And the guy's like, you've never met me. You don't know my name. I was in the front row of your concert here. And she's like, Alphonse! How's your mother? Did she do well in the surgery? He's like, she did, really. He's like, what the fuck is this? And then one of the band members from NSYNC comes out. Like, it was somebody dressed as him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what's this guy's name? And he's like,
Real nice.
It's like, Ralph?
Ralph.
And then they tell him, and he's like, I will give you all of your points back if you can now tell me his name. And he's like, he's like, I literally just told you his name. It was so fucking funny.
That's great.
Bringing him down to Lickerville.
We were watching the SNL Christmas skits the other day. Those are pretty good.
Yeah. Some of the Mad TV ones are pretty good, too.
They are.
The one with the plutonium lights for trees.
No, I haven't seen that.
There was lights that would never go out. So the plutonium lights, and they put them on the trees, and then the tree died, and then so did the entire family. They were just like decaying on the couch, and the advertiser is like in a radiation
Oh,
suit
nice.
advertising them.
Really
Fucking
nice.
Awesome.
I remember one where someone was given a Christmas gift, and it it was a joke back then, but nowadays we're actually getting pretty damn close to it. Where it was for Christmas, someone had given someone like a mock razor, but it had 7 blades on it. But when they shaved, it went past the stubble and like just cut off their skin after like the 7th blade because there's so many blades on this razor. And then it cuts back to them. And this guy is just like plastic bandages all over his face, and
The closest shave ever.
yeah. And I'm like, it was a joke. It's like now we're up to 5 blades. With some of these things, it's like, do we really need 5 fucking blades?
I don't even shave, so
Yeah.
I trim my beard every now and again.
But getting back to the Christmas specials, you know which ones I like? I don't get to see them that often though. Is the Doctor Who ones?
Last year's was really good. Last year's introduced Clara,
Yeah, it did.
and this year's is going to introduce Capaldi.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to regenerate in the beginning.
Was it last year or 2 years ago? Was the Christmas Carol one?
I don't know.
I can't recall. That was the last one I saw. I like the Christmas Carol one.
It wasn't last year. Last year was Attack of the Snowmen.
Right. I actually never saw that one all the way through though.
I have a
sadly.
disc of it somewhere, actually. Somebody burned it for me. I have it on disc somewhere. Probably, maybe. Unless I gave it to somebody, which is possible.
Okay.
I'm sure you could find it online.
For those of you who are listening, yeah, I'm still trying to get caught up on Doctor Who. I've only in the last few months discovered it, and I.
It's not
Yeah,
true.
but
He's
how
only-
far are you going back?
Well, no, okay. I'm
2005.
starting right now with.
Okay.
I started with the reboot with Doctor Nine, and I've gone up
I
from
was gonna
there.
say, which Doctor did you start with?
I started with 9, and that's okay. If you start with 9, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll eventually go back and I'll watch the others.
I watched a couple of the others, and it's really weird because, like, 9 and 10 seem to know everything.
Yeah.
Like, they're like the completed Pokedex. You know,
Mhm,
you go,
yeah.
and they're like, what is that? Well, that's this species, and they do this, and I encountered them 200 years ago doing this. But then when you go back and you, like, watch the first Doctor, William something or another,
Yeah.
and in the most commonly found story, it's the Aztecs,
Yeah.
and he's studying the Aztecs. So like, he's like, "Oh, explain to me this." I'm like, "Was this shit like some after-school thing, like to trick kids into learning?" Like, this is not the Doctor that I know. The Doctor that I know knows everything.
Well, he kept having to be regenerated, so he eventually found out everything.
But
Well,
then
and
he
in-
went to Matt Smith, and he doesn't really know that much.
No, he still knows everything. It's
he
really
just forgets everything.
It's really cool the way
that
that they
long-term
explain
memory.
Yeah.
the way that they explain David Tennant and Matt Smith in Day of the Doctor is really cool because you get to see John Hurt, who's like super serious, and then Eccleston didn't come back because he's an ass, and because he was doing Thor too.
Yeah.
But David and Matt came back, and it was really cool to see like them kind of broken down into what they became post this John Hurt Doctor, like
Right.
who he had to grow to become to deal with what he had done.
Now, again, I haven't seen Day of the Doctor, but I know that because I saw one of those specials where it was John Hurt is the one after the 8th. So they're not counting him though.
He's not
He's not a numbered doctor.
he's not a doctor, quote unquote.
Okay.
He renounced the name because he
Okay, that was in that special.
that was during
Yeah.
the war.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They say that the doctor is there to save people
Right.
and protect, and that's not what John Hurt did.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
Kinda. You'll see it.
Okay, we'll watch it. Wait, Alison, do you watch Doctor Who?
I watched. Oh, I don't remember which Doctor it was. The one who had the really, really big scarf and the
The fourth
poofy
Doctor.
hair.
That's the 4th Doctor. Yeah.
I used to watch that Doctor.
Tom Baker.
And then I watched some of the new one. He had spiky hair, kind of young.
Tennant.
Tennant.
10.
I guess it might have been 10.
Mhm.
He had kind of big eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was apologizing a lot.
Mhm.
Every fucking time he did something, he was like, I'm so sorry. Whereas Christopher Eccleston was like, I killed you.
And again, I haven't seen a lot of Tennant yet because I'm just out of Eccleston's reign. But the one thing I did see a clip online of the guy Alonzo.
Alan Z?
No. There's a guy called Alonzo,
Oh.
and he says to him, he's like, "What's your name?" He said, "Alonzo," and he's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I've always wanted to do this." Alonzo. I'm like, "Oh God."
That's yeah, and then Matt Smith comes along. Matt Smith's very devious. Like he's very like I didn't like him when.
Okay,
he first...
I haven't seen anything with Matt Smith yet, but he looked more absent-minded than devious.
No, like early on, he's very like he has his little team, but he doesn't always include them in his thinking. He just starts to do things, and he tells them one thing, and then he's doing something else because he knows things are going to play out a certain way. And they're like, "Why didn't you tell us?" And he's like, "I told you what you needed to know." I'm like, "You're not Batman. Come on, fucker."
Nice. All right, getting back on Christmas from Doctor Who.
And then there was a Christmas episode. I think it was a Christmas episode with the one with the Titanic.
I never saw that one.
I didn't see that one either. I wanted to, but I didn't.
So let me ask you guys this: what would you say is your favorite Christmas special, ever, hands down? And you can't say Christmas Story because I don't consider that Christmas special. That's just pure nostalgic goodness.
Okay. Does Christmas special include any kind of Christmas movie?
Well, okay. Well, we can talk about a Christmas movie after Christmas special.
Oh, I got one.
Go.
Batman Returns.
That's a movie.
Not a Christmas movie.
No.
It's a movie that takes place at Christmas.
Right. Although
Hi, little face doll.
that's actually an interesting argument I've heard online. If a movie takes place at Christmas, can you call it a Christmas movie? Let's
You mean
like
like
for
some of the
Die
Harry
Hard.
Potters?
like Die Hard.
I was going to say, they used to say the Die Hard, a couple of the Die Hard. No, that doesn't count because that takes place over an entire year.
I know, but there's a big chunk around Christmas in some of them.
Which one is this?
The Harry
Harry
Potter
Potter.
movies.
Well, some of
Oh.
them-
Because ABC Family tries to include it.
Yeah,
in
I don't like
Christmas
that. I don't
specials.
like that.
Like, look, this is the scene where there's snow.
Yeah,
this
that's
is a
the only
Christmas
one.
special. This is a summer special. This is a
Right.
all-season movie.
Yeah, seriously.
This is the back to school special.
Let's play 1 through 7 back to back over 3 days
God.
every weekend.
That's you mentioned Die Hard. That's the truth. But also, a lot of people bring up Gremlins because the first Gremlins
yeah.
took part at Christmas.
Did it?
Yeah,
Oh.
and there's a
Been a
really
long time since I
dark
saw that.
scene in there involving Santa. It's the scene where she's talking about when her dad tried to come down the chimney to surprise them at Christmas time, and he got stuck in the chimney
What a dumbass
And-
people were in the 80s.
and then
Christ.
died in the chimney, and that's how she found out there was no Santa Claus.
What the fuck?
I was like, oh my God, that's dark.
Well, all right, well, what about, like, Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands. That's a good one. But again, no one considers these movies Christmas movies.
Right, because they're not.
But, at what point does it cross the line? Because some people consider Gremlins a Christmas movie, and I'm like, but it's not necessarily about Christmas. It's just
But they're
at
so
Christmas time.
cute.
And Iron Man 3 took part
was-
during Christmas time.
I was going to say, a movie just came out that took place at Christmas time.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of what it was.
Iron
Was it
Man
Iron
3.
Man 3? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he says "Merry Christmas" at the end. When I don't want to ruin it, no spoilers, but at the very end when
Spoiler alert, Christmas time. But don't need to see it now.
no,
Unsubscribe to that channel.
at the very end when he and Pepper together at the end and everything's happening, he just says "Merry Christmas,"
Oh, yeah, because the giant bunny was her gift. We're going to need to remove a wall to get this in the house. Is this what Christmas is always like? Kind of, yes.
And another good example. Would you consider Rise of the Guardians a Christmas movie?
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
It's actually an Easter film.
Really?
It takes place at Easter.
What?
Because if you remember, during the movie,
Oh, shit, it does, yeah.
what's his
One
name?
of the main plots.
Hugh Jackman's character.
The Easter Bunny.
Yeah,
Easter Bunny.
Really?
You just
Like-
said
Easter.
Easter
Yeah,
Bunny.
the Easter Bunny.
What the fuck's his name?
Yeah.
The kangaroo
Yeah,
character.
the rest of the Guardians have to go out and give out Easter eggs with him. Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to the second one.
I liked that one,
They say that they're including a couple more Guardians.
which I would love to see because they mentioned like the Leprechaun and Cupid and I forget what other ones were on there, but yeah, I'd like to see that.
I would like to see if the New Year's Baby was there, and if so, I would like to see if the New Year's Baby and Santa duke it out as to who gets Christmas.
But you know what? They had Christmas. They had snow time in the Guardians.
They
So
did,
Jack.
they did, but it
Jack.
was during the actual time of the movie was during Easter,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, but it's kind of a Christmassy.
no, just because Santa's in there. I mean, there's a lot of snow in there. There's a lot of ice and stuff, but.
And the Yetis.
And the Yetis. The Yetis were good.
The little minion elves.
The Minion Elves are really just a spin-off of the Minions
Yeah.
in Despicable Me. You
See,
can tell that's what
my
they had in mind.
My friend Steve, my best friend's husband, refuse to see that movie because in the trailer, the one boy elf kisses the other boy elf, and then like he hits him or something, and he's like, "It's discouraging homosexual relations," and I'm
Oh,
like,
for God's sake!
"No, it's not." And he's like, he got all offended when that boy elf kissed him. I'm like, I'd get pissed if some random boy kissed me.
Exactly.
I don't know you. I was like,
I don't want your germs, man.
and even some of the boys I do know, if they kiss me, I was like, "Excuse me, did you just buy me dinner? Back the fuck off." And he's like, "Well, I guess if you have to look at it like that," I was like, "Dude, you do not need to look at everything as a fucking act at this point." Oh, so Steve's texting me, my boyfriend Steve, not the Steve I was just talking about, and he said to say hi to Mike because I told him where I was.
Oh,
So
well,
I
hello,
figured
Steve.
I'd embarrass him by announcing that he said hi.
I'm sure he really appreciates
Well,
that.
He will. I'll let him listen to the recording.
Yeah. Hello,
They're like,
Steve,
"What the
and Merry
fuck?"
Christmas to you.
He's on his way to Tennessee now.
So, had anyone mentioned their favorite Christmas special, or did we get sidetracked?
Because nobody fucking watches Christmas specials. My favorite Christmas special is the Doctor Who one.
Okay, well, there you go.
There's kissing, and there's Clara, and Claire doesn't make any goddamn sense. And then there's snowman monsters. And that's fun for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Allison?
I don't really watch all those Christmas special things. I just like Christmas Vacation.
I hate the vacation movies.
You hate the vacation movies?
I don't like Chevy Chase.
Oh, see, I
Gets on my
like Chevy Chase.
Goddamn nerves.
And if you hear growling in the background, Paul
That's
is
me.
currently...
That's
good.
his vagina. It's hungry.
No.
It needs a sacrifice.
Oh my God, no.
Oh, if you can't think of any Christmas specials, let's just... Oh, for God's sake. Stop antagonizing the dog, Paul. Oh, look what you did to him!
Do anything.
Give him some more eggnog.
So, oh, stop
He
it.
got so he smelled my eggnog and then he ran away sneezing. He's like, "Oh my God, it's whiskey. Daddy likes his whiskey." Come here.
Okay, so what would you say is your favorite Christmas movie, then?
Oh, I don't know. I'll watch just about anything Christmas, except if it's made by Lifetime or ABC Family.
Because those are always
right.
so sad.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But anything else, I'll basically watch.
Some
Like,
of
I just
those
watched the
ABC Family
Chipmunks
movies,
Christmas
oh my
special
God, they are
today. I'll
so
watch just about
bad.
anything.
There was one recently. What was it? The Holidays. Oh my God,
yeah,
that
I
looked
can't.
so frigging bad.
I was like,
just so stupid.
holidays? Really?
it looked
Yeah.
so
Really?
bad. Oh my God.
Best
But-
Christmas movie ever? No. Best Christmas movie ever.
Okay.
Because it has everything. It's got lies. It's got betrayals. It's got some little kid who's got a crush on a black girl. Love Actually.
That
Straight
is
I thought you were gonna say
a really
Polar
good
Express.
movie.
Ain't no black kids on the Polar. I never actually saw
There's
that.
one. I think there's one.
There's one, yeah. When they had
Hey,
their token.
no, wait a minute. Hey, Kim knows this. I love Polar Express. I think it's one of the best Christmas films to come out in the last
Mike's like,
decade.
I've seen that movie, and I have not seen a black kid.
No. and Kim knows this. Every time it's on, I'll sit down and watch it. And it's not my favorite special, but I think it weaves a very cool world. You know, the whole idea of...
Polar Express is not a special. It's a movie.
Right.
We've moved on to movies.
We moved on to movies.
Okay, but you're still calling them
You did call
specials.
it a special.
sorry.
Me too.
Everybody
Stick to your definition.
Sorry. But I love that world that it weaves. And it's kind of the idea that it could all be in his mind because his dad is Tom Hanks. You know, so everything he sees is a projection of his father.
Yeah, but his dad's Walt Disney.
Oh, for God's sake. Did you ever see the Disney's A Christmas Carol, the most recent one with Jim Carrey?
I wanted to, but I didn't.
I like that.
I heard it was good, but
it's
I never
incredibly
saw it.
dark for a kid's film.
I heard.
Well, that's what the Christmas Carol is.
Oh yeah,
It's a
Christmas
dark
Carol is
story.
intentionally dark. It was written to be dark.
I mean, not to get off track, but I'm watching Batman Beyond again, and for something aimed at 7 to 10,
Oh.
holy crap!
Yeah.
Like, there's addiction, there's a lot of sex, there's cheating in relationships. There's this one point where this girl like goes up to this guy, this like rock star, and she's like, "Can I have your autograph?" And she starts pulling her shirt up, and she's like, "You can sign wherever you want." I was like, "What the shit?" I hope kids wear condoms when they watch this.
Wow. I don't remember that at all in Batman Beyond. I remember there being a lot of innuendo.
Apparently, you need to go back and watch it
I'll watch it
again.
again, yeah. I'll watch it again. I love that series.
No, I'm about halfway through the second season. I started watching it yesterday. It's like I love it. Bruce. The only issue with it is that there's not a high def version, so it's really grainy.
Oh, that sucks.
But it's the stories from episode to episode are so good. So I'm rewatching it. Like, it talks about Bruce and Selena at one point because
Right.
Terry has a crush on 10.
Right.
And he's like, have you ever had this happen?
That's a good episode.
And he's like,
let me tell you about this
let
woman
me tell
called
you about
Selena
a woman
Kyle.
named Selena Kyle.
I was like,
And
oh.
Then there's an episode where Barbara Gordon's husband, who is the DA, there's an assassination. There's a hit out on him by the Society of Assassins,
Right.
which is the New Age League of Assassins.
Yeah.
And Barbara takes Terry out for coffee to discuss like her time as a vigilante. And he's like, well, you know, you and Dick Grayson dated, and she's like, yeah, in college, and then he wanted to quit being a vigilante, and I stayed behind. And he's like, she's like, I stayed behind with Bruce, and he's like, oh, as his partner, and she just like sips her coffee, and he's like, oh, and she's like, yeah, I'm like, damn, and then she tells him off, and I'm like, yo,
Bruce is hardcore robbing the cradle.
word. Bruce got around. But then he makes a couple references to like all of the Robins, and at the time we only had the 3. So like it's in a universe where only those 3 took place. So now I'm curious because they're bringing Batman Beyond into the New 52. If the New 52 Beyond includes Damian,
Interesting.
because there were future worlds where Damian is Batman.
Right.
That was very off topic. but-
No, it's getting back on Christmas.
Well, let's touch into a little bit of. Well, actually, I have a Christmas story that's really inappropriate. That has nothing to do with Christmas, except that it took place at Christmas.
Okay, go ahead.
So every year, you know, my dad would try to do like something different for food. And one year for Thanksgiving, he decided that he wanted roast. Just
Okay.
because we had roast, and it was good. My dad's really good at cooking.
Okay.
And different types of meats. Like he loved seasoning things, and always did a really good job once he learned how. Probably one of the only things that my dad was good at. And then for Christmas then that year, we had a turkey that we never ate. So he was like, "We'll have turkey." So my grandmother, being the pool of useless knowledge that she is, she's got like 47 doctorate degrees, and she's just like, "Let me say things because I know words." She's like, "Did you know that there's actually more tryptophan in turkey or in chicken than there is in turkey?" Tryptophan is the chemical in
Right.
turkey.
That's supposed to make you fall asleep.
That,
yeah.
Well, that does. Well, what it is that at Thanksgiving you eat so much turkey.
Yeah, you just go into a food coma. Yeah.
Right. You basically get drunk. So there's this like moment of silence. And I was like, that's why black people are so lazy.
Oh my
And
God,
everybody-
Paul!
Everybody lost it. No.
For the
No, but all right, so here's the great part of the story now, because now there's an annex.
Oh my gosh.
Also, yay for vocab. So not long ago, I'm telling this story to a black girl. Didn't even get to the punchline. I was like, yeah, and that's why people get so tired because they get drunk on it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay. So I let that sink in before I hit the punchline, and she hits me, and she's like, yo, that's why we got the itis. I started crying. Like, I'm at work, bawling my eyes out, laughing. I thought I was going to choke to death. It was the greatest thing I'd ever heard in my life.
the itis.
My Christmas story.
Oh man.
I used to hate Christmas growing up. And here's what, like, Christmas Day. Like, I like getting gifts. I don't like waking up at 5 in the morning.
Right.
Like, even when I was, like, 4. Like, my mom would be awake. And she'd be like, wake up. And I, bitch, get off me.
And there was I remember it was when I was like 14 or 15 where my sister was still getting up early and I wasn't. And I decided they were good enough. I'm like, look, I understand you want to get up at like 6 to open gifts, but I'm at the age now where like I crave sleep. I want sleep. So you're not waking up until like 8. No, I'm getting up before that. No, you're not.
No.
Like, I will duct tape your door shut. You are not getting out.
3 or 4 years ago, my dad would have Tim and I stay at their house so that we could all wake up early or whatever. And so I can sleep. I sleep like the dead. Like, Appa and Darwin have been fighting on top of me in the middle of the night, and I haven't woken up. Like, Steve has had to separate them and then wake me up. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So my dad we would sleep on a futon in the basement. My dad opened the door, and he picked up my Australian Shepherd, and he dropped him on me. And that morning, I don't know what time we woke up. I wasn't allowed to look at a clock. And even if I could, I don't know that my eyes would have focused enough. But I do know that before 11:30, we opened our gifts, we ate breakfast, and I took a 2-hour nap. So I don't know what time we woke up, but I got a lot done.
Nice. Really nice. There was one year where my entire family was just completely sick. Like, we all just had the flu. And there was a morning when we're just like, okay, none of us are getting up. Like, we want to open gifts. We want to go out there and celebrate Christmas, but we just don't feel like leaving our beds. So we all got up and just sat there in silence opening gifts. And it was the most awkward, morning ever. But, by noon, everyone was feeling okay. And we had some food. And then, okay, we're all just going to retire to our beds for the rest of the day. It was so sad.
What a sad Christmas.
It was. And then the same thing happened the next year on, New Year's, where none of my friends were having a party. So I was just I just sat at home. And my parents were sick. I was sick. So I literally rung in the New Year by myself, just sitting downstairs, just watching TV. I went to my parents' room, and they're, coughing and hacking. Oh, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm like, oh, my God. But on to, what were we on when we got sidetracked?
Heroin.
Heroin?
Coke.
Heroin's a hell of a drug.
Heroin's a hell of a drug. Cocaine's
Oh!
a hell of a drug.
Movies, right. Okay, so, because we got on the Batman Beyond for some reason.
Because it's awesome.
Yeah. Allison, any favorite Christmas movies?
Other than
Or
the
movies
one I
that take
already-
place at Christmas?
Other than the one I already said? No.
Die Hard?
Didn't say Die Hard.
She said,
Someone said Die Hard.
I did earlier. I said if it was a Christmas movie. She said her
Ah.
favorite was Christmas Vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were actually talking about that the other day. It's been on ABC Family a lot recently, but they cut so much out of it.
Got all the good parts.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why we watched it on Netflix. It's fun on Netflix, obviously, but no, that's a good one. I'm kind of like Paul. I'm not a fan of all the vacation movies, but I do like Christmas Vacation, and Vegas Vacation is okay.
Actually, Christmas Vacation isn't terrible.
okay.
I don't like Vegas, though.
The only reason I hate Vegas is just because it's basically just.
I thought you just said you liked it.
When I enjoy it, but it's a lot
I'm so
of.
confused.
We're all confused.
I enjoy it, but a lot of the time they're just whoring themselves out to Vegas. It's kind of like Lost in New York with Home Alone 2. It's really just them advertising New York, and you could tell they got a lot of money for advertising the Plaza and for advertising Rockefeller Center and certain other points in New York. You could tell they were getting, it was basically a tourism ad for the movie. Except for when he's in Central Park and is getting attacked left and right by bums and whores, but But again, there are some movies that are just like that. And Vegas Vacation was like that, where every other second you're being bombarded with Vegas, 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 come visit here. It's like, oh, for God's sake! It's like recently we saw a review of 8 Crazy Nights, and that was the film that I think was most guilty of it. Has anyone here ever seen 8 Crazy Nights?
That's that Adam Sandler
yeah.
thing,
Right.
Yeah.
Holy crap. In the middle of that film, it literally just becomes a commercial where it takes place in a mall, and all they just show you is different products, different companies. Foot Locker.
And the mascots for the
Oh, yeah,
companies
and the
come
mascots
come
for them.
to life.
Eventually, the stores come to life, and they have an intervention for the main character.
Because it's 8 crazy nights.
And it's so weird, but it's basically just like a marketer's wet dream. It just turns into advertising, God, that is a bad movie. And watching the review of it just made me hate it all the more because...
8 Crazy Nights?
Yeah.
It's alright.
Oh, for God's sake.
He hasn't done many funny things in the last decade, so...
It's in the top 3 worst Christmas movies ever.
Well, it's not a Christmas movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a Hanukkah. It's a holiday film.
It's a
But
Hanukkah
say,
movie.
I don't think it should have even been ranked in those.
Exactly.
Fine, holiday
It's
film.
not a Christmas movie.
Racism.
Okay,
Would it be
so
like religiosism? Because it's not a race.
just
It's a religion.
prejudice. Just prejudice. Well, no, some could argue that Jewish is a race. Some people have, and you could claim that there are certain traits.
But you could
that-
just skip being a Jew. You can't skip being
Could you
Asian.
try not being Jewish?
I mean, you could just
Oh, I know that. Yeah, you're
it's
right.
not if you're Asian, you're kind of stuck being Asian.
Right.
But if you're Jewish, you don't have to be
You're
Jewish.
right. But there are certain traits and certain characteristics that Jewish people have over others. And
That's kind of a regional thing, though.
yeah, but it's something that really only people of the Jewish faith have. And it's not just because you're Jewish and you have these traits, but it's odd. It's kind of a what?
I just listened to you trying to explain this.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I thought I had a pretty good solid foundation there. Just not be Jewish.
Getting off on a topic.
And we digress.
We digress
Aw.
always. We always digress.
Always digress.
Kim, did you have a favorite Christmas movie?
Not asking him how I take a bite of cookie.
Right? Yeah.
I think he actually timed that. He was like, all right, let me pause, cookie in mouth. Kim, do you have a favorite cookie?
What?
What?
What was the question?
Favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know.
White
just
Christmas?
like them all. I do like White Christmas.
You guys ever seen White Christmas?
I don't remember.
It's been on AMC.
Even though you hate
Okay,
it.
we can discuss that, but I don't hate White Christmas.
He
I-
dislikes it a lot.
No, I don't. There are some genuinely good moments in that movie.
But the
credits.
rest are terrible.
For God's sake, the credits.
That's what he's like.
Paul,
He's
by the
like,
way,
those are
I'm gonna
excellent
steal that.
credits.
It had some good moments. The credits.
The end credits.
But no, and I've said this to Kim, and she hates me for saying it, but I like to think that White Christmas is the best army recruitment film ever made.
It's an army movie?
No.
Oh.
It's a Christmas movie.
But
She
about
got so judgmental about it, too.
no, but about
It is a Christmas movie.
Until
70
you forget it.
or 75% of the film has to deal with the military or someone in the military or
No,
plugging
just
the
because-
military.
They have one scene in the beginning where they're in the war fighting.
Mhm.
And then the one guy saves the other guy's life. So then he just brings that up throughout the rest of the movie to get him to do favors for him.
Yeah, and then there's a scene at the end saying, "Ooh, I wish I was back in the army." And then
Because they're trying to make the general feel better.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm telling you, everything in that movie is about the army. It all goes back to the army.
Look,
No,
Mike,
it's all about dancing and singing. It's not about the
it's all
army.
about dancing and singing.
It's a musical, damn it.
It's all anything really is about. Haven't you heard the Hokey Pokey?
That's what it's all
That's what
about.
it's all about.
But, and again, I'm not hating the film. There are some funny moments in there, and it's not bad. I just think that it's trying to plug the army way too much. That's all.
Whatever.
But no, White Christmas is a good one. For my money, I would put up there one that I saw a while back that I sadly I can't remember its exact name. I think it was Joyeuse Noël, which is the story of the First World War when there was a truce between the French and Germans or the American and Germans on Christmas Day, and they decided not to fight that day and basically just had a big, Christmas
So that's
feast.
just a big advertisement for joining the army.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Look,
it's,
we don't fight on Christmas Day.
no,
We're
that's
okay.
Yeah.
that's an advertisement for having peace.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so's Thanksgiving. Good job. We're all thankful that we were able to slaughter you and take your turkey. Thanks, bitch.
I'm surprised no one has mentioned a Charlie Brown's movie.
Fucking Charlie Brown is old.
That's more of a
It's kind of dated.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
Those problems aren't around
There's
anymore.
no problem around it.
God,
Nobody gets shitty
Just
trees
like
anymore.
a Christmas story. Those problems just aren't around anymore.
Nobody gets haunted by spirits anymore.
a Christmas story, not a Christmas Carol.
Whatever. Shut up. You don't know. Fucking Beauty and the Beast. There's a Christmas scene in that. It's like Harry Potter. It takes place over like 9 months.
You're right.
It takes place over like an entire year.
Although there is now a Christmas special for Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah,
which is
there
is. Yeah.
strange.
I love Beauty and the Beast. It's my favorite.
I love that
I like
movie.
it.
That's a
I
very
love
good
Beauty.
movie.
I get really mad when I watch Once Upon a Time, and I just don't feel. And it's funny because Steve and I will discuss it, and he's like, "You don't like the actress that plays Belle?" I'm like, "It's not that I don't like Emily DeRaven. It's that I don't look at Emily DeRaven and
It's
see
not the
Belle."
original Belle.
Yeah, it's just like
Right.
they made Snow White like. Well, they tried to make Snow White really cool. Fucking Snow White makes me want to just drive over her repeatedly. Like when you're siding with the bad guy because the good guys get on your nerves so damn bad, I'm like, I really wish the evil queen would just fucking kill everyone,
Real nice.
except for that one dwarf because he's fucking adorable. Other than that, kill everyone.
really nice.
Especially the main kid. Fucking make it hurt. That kid gets on my goddamn nerves. Steve and I were really hoping that they were going to kill him off at the end of the season.
Speaking of which, there have been a few Christmas specials I've seen where I just hated like the main kid who was in it, like Santa Claus, the Tim Allen film.
Oh, yo! That was like my favorite Christmas movie growing up.
No,
I forgot about that movie.
I like the movie, but the kid in that is such a little brat. I hate him. He's not.
That's the result of a divorced family.
Oh no. Divorced families can have good kids, but that doesn't mean that they can have good actors. I mean, apparently this kid just cannot act. I mean, every other line he's just either screaming it or he's just whispering. He has no volume control.
Kind of like you.
I was really thinking the exact same thing.
See, but she can say it and it won't be offensive.
Maybe next time I should say it then. It'll sting worse.
Thanks. That reminds me, do you have any Christmas specials you just hate, despise, special or movie?
Hey, Alison, do you remember those claymation ones that they used to make?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those claymation ones
Yeah,
that are
those
so dated.
They're so dated. I hate those movies.
Dated's going to be the word of the night, apparently.
No,
They're from the 90s. We just don't have that problem
we
anymore.
don't have that problem.
Oh my God, I never said we didn't have a problem. For the love of God.
It's just not a really big
It's
issue
just
anymore.
not anymore. They make pills for it now, so nobody's
For God's
claymation.
sake.
Fucking asshole, dude.
Thrown in face.
like smeared. Fucking. I didn't like either of the Santa Claus sequels.
Oh, those are pretty bad.
Yeah.
I
They
saw the
are.
first one. I saw part of the second one. I didn't care. Wasn't the wife in the first one
No.
Cold Heart Bitch?
The divorcee wife?
No, the new wife. The new
She
Claus.
comes into the second
She comes in
one.
the second
She
one.
Right,
comes
that's
in
what I
at the
mean.
end of the second
Isn't
one.
she... Does anybody but me here watch House?
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Because I think she was a character on House.
She was a character on Lost.
Who was she?
I think she's a docter.
Juliet?
Yeah, that's her
Oh,
name.
was that it?
Juliet,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
Don't
She was
remember her
she took care of babies though.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's somebody different. Oh, no, I like her. The other chick is fucking everywhere, though. She gets on my damn nerves. I'm like, it's Cold Heart Bitch. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, dude. It's like, on House, there are a couple characters. Like, the main chick on Once Upon a Time started on House. Her name was Cameron. So I constantly call her Cameron.
okay.
Even though her
That
name's...
was the girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, even though her name's Emma, and she's a main character, sometimes I'll just be like, Cameron. And he's like, who? Or Olivia Wilde, sometimes I'll forget her name, and I'm like, 13.
Oh, right.
Because they had a class, and she was number 13, and he kept forgetting her name because she was so hot, so he just numbered. So she had a number, and he was like, you, 13. And she stayed. She ended up being a regular cat, and they kept calling her 13. So, like, she's in Tron. She plays Korra in Tron.
Yeah.
Like, who played Korra? 13 played Korra.
Real nice.
Fucking don't know her name. Olivia Wilde. She's hot as shit.
I haven't seen her in anything besides Tron, so I just call her Cora. I haven't seen her in.
She started on House, and she was 13, and then she was in Tron, and she's been in a couple other things. She's a really, really good actress, actually.
I like her. Yeah.
I know that Cameron was on How I Met Your Mother. I
Right.
don't think Cora was. I don't think Olivia Wilde was. She might have been. I don't know. She's fucking crazy hot, though. Like, she's not like Mila Kunis hot, but she's like... I mean, she's not far off.
Speaking of which, she's in one of our trailers tonight.
Oh, I know. Again, saw that trailer before you told me about it, too. Or a couple. You sent me a list, and I was like, oh, I only have to watch, like, one of these.
I'm trying to think of any Christmas specials I despise. Like, I'll just turn it off immediately. Like you said, anything on ABC Family, just...
Right, anything made by
ABC Family.
Because they still
right.
show, like Home Alone and stuff like that.
Yeah, and...
That's what it's called.
every
For a second, I was
Home
like, wait, that's not...
Every Home Alone after the second one was garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, saw
Well,
the
there
third
was a-
one.
there was-
Anything after that did not matter.
Was there
These
two or...
fucking suck.
Was there 2 or 3 after the second one? I forget.
It doesn't matter.
I
They
don't
all-
know.
Doesn't matter. They were all
There
bad.
were at least
Yeah.
2, and I was like, this is fucking
And
terrible.
look, and it's not even because Macaulay Culkin didn't return. That's not the point. You still could have written good Home Alone films with different families,
Yeah.
but they were just bullshit. They were
It
awful films.
It was terrible.
Did they even take place at Christmas? I can't even remember.
Fuck if I know.
At least the third one was winter.
The third one was winter, but I don't know if it took place during Christmas or not. Yeah.
I don't fucking remember.
Yeah. That
Macaulay
family-
Culkin was the man when he was a little dude, and now he is a man, and he is terrible.
He looks really drugged up. I ever saw him in one other film. I think it was called Blessed. Did you ever see that?
Saved?
Saved, or was it Saved? The
Was
He
he
Mandy.
in
was like the
Saved?
Christian
Yeah, it was Mandy Moore.
that was saved.
Okay,
Was that
Saved.
him?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or was that his brother?
No,
No,
I
that
think
was-
it was him.
Yeah.
Okay. Because his
Pretty
brother
sure.
was in Scott Pilgrim,
Right.
and he was in this movie called Party Animal
Never
with
saw that.
Seth Green. It was about the party scene. They like introduced this kid to the gay scene. He's trying to come out, and so he's like, "Let's go to all these fucking clubs," and
Yeah.
they become party monsters.
Interesting. But yeah, anything after Home Alone 2. And Home Alone 2 actually has some pretty bad parts, but I still like it.
What? No, Home Alone 2 was nothing but awesome. So shut your fucking mouth. God damn it.
What?
You have some pretty bad parts.
This is true.
Yeah.
Alison,
That.
But
any particular ones you hate?
no.
I'm not a huge fan of. Trying to think, what was one off the top of my head.
Yo, you better shut up before I feed you to Asians.
By
I'll
the way-
call Uncle Robin.
Paul's talking to me, by the way.
Puppy pot, puppy pot.
Bye-bye.
Puppy pot pie.
I am not a huge fan of, and Kim was watching it earlier, the Chipmunks Christmas special.
I'm not saying it's awesome. I'm just
The old school one or
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
remake?
The old
no,
school
no,
one.
old.
Yeah, the old school
Old
one's pretty cool.
animation.
Chipmunks are still pretty
The
baller.
old
Yeah.
Chipmunks are still okay. The new ones are shit.
The first
but-
movie I liked. I actually liked the first movie. Because it wasn't like the Smurfs, where it's like, look, we're in a completely different universe. What the fuck is this craziness?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, they still existed in the same universe, and they did a good job with the CGI. And after that, like, I think I saw the second one. And I'm like, I'm a little confused. Then I think the third one, they were like shipwrecked or some bullshit, and I'm like, I'm not going to see that.
Yeah.
Tim was like, there's another one. Have fun.
And there's going to be at least 3 more. I can guarantee it.
Well, I mean, if they're good, then they're good. That's
Could-
fine. But the first one was the first one was good, and the second one was all right, and everything after that was terrible.
Ugh. Well, they're making tons of money on those films. Kids are just eating them up.
Well, I mean, kids need to eat something.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Chipmunk one, but
What about the Flintstones?
the Flintstones one is okay.
I don't know that I've ever seen the Flintstones one.
The Flintstones one is interesting, even though, they have Santa Claus before Jesus was born, which is kind of odd. But,
It's best not to think about these things when you watch Christmas movies.
It's interesting. I'm like, wait, how is there a Christmas special? There was no Christ. No, Christ was a Time Lord.
Ah, yes.
That's how he
it
came
explains everything.
That's how he came back. They hanged him. They locked him in that thing. He regenerated. He was good.
But you like that article I sent you about Batman being a Time Lord?
You didn't send that to me. That was on Facebook, and
I linked it to you.
I shared it, and you said this makes sense.
I could have swore I shared it with you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You may have shared it with me after I saw it.
Okay. Oh.
I've done that to Ben a couple times. I'm like, Ben, look at this corgi thing, and he's like, you saw it on my wall, dummy. I'm like, I know you're just Chinese. I didn't think you saw it because your eyes. And he's like, you're an asshole.
I'm trying to think some others. There was the Ernest Christmas movie, which was good and bad.
Well, it's Ernest.
It's
so-
Ernest, yeah. You have to buy into Ernest.
Ernest T. Bass.
No, the greatest Ernest one was the Halloween one.
That
Fucking love that movie.
I still laugh at that one. There are
The-
bad parts,
the
but I
Miak.
still laugh at that
You
one.
didn't think I'd be able to find Miak. What the fuck is wrong with
Wasn't
this?
it? I thought it was Malk or
It
something.
was Milk, but they messed up the thing.
Oh, but I thought they didn't have the I in it, so he called it Malk
I don't fucking remember.
Miak, something like
I
that.
thought
Yeah,
it was Miak. He would like go to the store and he found something called Miak.
real nice.
All right, so let's do these reviews because it's getting late and I'm a fatty and I haven't eaten.
You haven't eaten anything?
I think I ate lunch.
And now you're just running on eggnog. Way to go. Alrighty, well, if you have nothing else to talk about in Christmas, and it's sorry, but I'm trying to have a
But sorry.
but sorry.
That's all right.
Uh,
All right.
But the first one we're going to come up to, which was released a couple weeks ago, and I'm really excited about it, is Godzilla.
Gentlemen, you are being sent in via Halo Jump. Now, I realize not all of you have had hands-on experience. And frankly, none of us have ever faced a situation quite like this one before. But I would not be asking any one of you to take this leap if I did not have complete faith in your ability to succeed. Your courage will never be more needed than it is today.
The first thing I thought, and then I thought, duh, was, fuck, he's big. Because you see this, like, skyscraper, and then it keeps going up. And I'm like, wait, where are we going? And then you see his head, and I'm like, fuck! It's a big monster. Wait, no, duh.
Yeah. And the only thing I can say is, no matter how hard they try, it will not be worse than the 98 remake.
I liked that movie.
You're kidding.
I mean, I was 9. Don't judge me. I liked that movie.
I
We
also
don't have those kinds of problems now.
We don't
That
have
was
those kinds of
not
problems now.
I
Matthew Broderick's not in movies anymore,
Yeah.
so...
Well, I liked that it was a Simpsons reunion, but apart from that,
It was a Simpsons reunion?
yeah, there's 3 or 4 cast members in that Godzilla remake that are voice actors for The Simpsons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I also kind of had a crush on Matthew Broderick at the time. I didn't understand that I had a crush on him. Looking back, I realized that I had a crush on him. At the time, I was just like, that's my favorite actor.
No,
Like,
but-
why? He sucks. I'm like, yeah, that's why I like him.
But this looks... I am very, very intrigued by this.
So am I. It looks really, really good. But see, like, I knew that they were doing this. Like, this has been in the works. We've known
Right.
that they were going to
Oh,
come
yeah,
out with
yeah.
this. And when they did Pacific Rim,
Uh-huh.
like, the monster they intro, I was like, yo, it's Gamera. Let's fucking roll.
Oh, yeah.
And then the fucking robot homeboy shows up and starts fucking rock'em sock'em with it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Steve puts on Real Steel the other day. He's like, have you ever seen this movie? Rock'em sock'em robots? Real Steel? Rock'em
It's
sock'em
Rock'em
robots?
Sock'em Robots.
We went back
It
and
really
forth
is.
4 times before he finally was just like, I'm going to go with no, and he turned it off. I'm not watching this bullshit.
Real Steel is odd, but yeah, it's Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Rock'em-
But
All they had to do was just knock him in the jaw once and have his head click up, and people have been like, yep, we know it.
another thing about that, I'll throw Pacific Rim. When you look at that, the money they put into building those Jaegers, how much cheaper would it have been just to have built the guns on the Jaegers and just, like, lined cities with those fucking guns?
I've never seen that movie, so I don't know the words you're saying right now.
Okay. Never mind. We should watch Pacific Rim sometime. I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's stupid. It's very, very cliched, but it's fun.
I heard that, like, all of the plot line was revealed in the first 19 minutes, and the rest was all action.
Pretty much.
I heard that Charlie Day was, like, the stupidest fucking character in that entire movie, but that he's really
He's
funny.
stupid, but he's funny. He is funny.
But I am crazy looking forward to Godzilla.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston is in it. And I don't know what he's doing. He's some sort of scientist. I don't know if this is taking
Lex
place
Luthor.
in Japan.
Making that.
It looks like the city line is Los Angeles. I thought it was taking place in Japan, but it looks like Los Angeles, which is
It'd be nice
interesting.
if it fucking took place in Japan.
Yeah.
But really, as long as it doesn't take place in New York.
Right.
Just, I mean, we get it. New York's dangerous. We shouldn't
Right.
live there.
New York is getting torn apart every other fucking movie.
Like, will not ever move there. Ever. My friends who like, I've got a friend who lives on Staten Island. I'm like, never move to the city.
No.
You've seen what happens. You've seen movies. And legitimately, his dad was late to work one day because of the Avengers. Because of the Avengers shoot, they blocked off like 15 blocks for shit,
Wow.
and he was 2.5 hours late to work.
What if you lived in some of those 15 blocks? What if you lived like inside that radius where they like blocked off your streets? We just live in there and
I
just
don't.
watch people.
Maybe you weren't. Maybe you were made to be an extra. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
If you come out of your house for work, you have to run away screaming. What? Yeah, wear running shoes. What the fuck are you talking about? We're shooting the Avengers. You have to be screaming. There's a cop car in my window.
Now, did you see the leaked trailer from Comic-Con?
For Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one where like it shows the building.
Yeah,
It shows,
and again,
like,
the trailer that we watched was
copies.
obviously a different trailer.
Yeah, it
but
was
the one
the
that was
official
leaked,
one.
it had I forget which one is like the tortoise one with like 6 legs. Was that I forget that one's name.
I
But
don't remember. I used to know their name.
But I loved that trailer. I wish they would have re-released that trailer because it had the quote from Oppenheimer.
Wait, was that the trailer? Like you saw like the dead monsters?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do remember that one.
And it was
That really fucking
the
cool.
quote
It's
from
gonna be a
Oppenheimer,
war.
the guy who worked on the Manhattan Project, and he quoted I forget what the Hindu scripture is, what the actual name of it is, but he quotes Vishnu when he becomes
Yeah,
the god of
the
death,
god
and he
of
says,
death.
"I've become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Yeah.
Which is great because they're talking about the atomic bomb, which of course nuclear energy is what feeds Godzilla.
Right.
And I'm like, this all plays in so well. This is a great quote to play during this trailer.
Yeah, but so long as they don't then try to like go in and be like, we think Godzilla might be a god. I'm like, go away. Like, really, stop being dumb. It's a giant. We don't need a story. All right, this is one of those things we don't need the story. We know the story. Just have him fight something big.
Right.
All right?
And one of the things that gets
And
me is that
get out of the way.
well, some people online are saying, "Oh, we love that it's getting back to its roots of being scary and suspenseful." I'm like, wait a minute, Godzilla was never scary or suspenseful.
Yeah, it was. I
The-
was 4 years old. That skit was scary as shit.
but
It was so scary. None of the words I just said were actually the words that I was trying to say. I hope people understand what I just tried to say because those words were not correct. What the fuck did Paul just say? We don't goddamn know.
Alison,
Just go
anything?
with it. Just go with it.
Are you a Godzilla fan?
No,
No.
I'm a Godzilla fan.
Oh, okay,
Gazira?
Gojira.
Whatever.
It's
I'm a
Gazira!
fan.
I don't know if it didn't look like in the trailer it was taking place anywhere in the Asian part of the world, but they just showed like one Asian person.
Right.
One
It was
Asian
one
man. I was
scientist
like,
looking
oh,
up in a massive hole.
It has
Yeah.
to be the stereotypical Asian person.
There
in
needs
the
to be like
trailer.
one guy in the movie though who just looks up and goes, "It's Gazira!"
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna be like, my life is complete. But if they do that, you know you're gonna have to see the movie like 4 or 5 times
Right.
because inevitably they're gonna fucking do that, and then you're not gonna be able to hear anything in the movie for the next 10 minutes as people fucking laugh.
Yep.
It's gonna be like in the Avengers when he was like Hulk smash, and then I thought that Hulk said something after that, but I had no idea the first 4 times I saw it. I'm like, fuck, shut up.
Yeah.
To go to see that movie in the middle of the afternoon to understand what the fuck was going on in
Yeah.
that final fight.
But this looks interesting, and I like that. It is Guillermo del Toro behind it, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty positive it's him. Yeah.
that makes
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's either the director or the screenwriter for this. And I like that. I mean, I don't know if his visual sense is going to work well with this movie because Guillermo del Toro has like the same look in all his films. Like Alison, you're a fan of the Hellboy movies, right?
Yes.
And like
yes,
how
I
all
them.
those films look exactly the same for the most part. All the creatures have the same mystical, otherworldly look, kind of like Tim Burton-esque. Not that his films look like Tim Burton, but it's the same look in all his films.
Yeah, it's consistent throughout the films.
Right.
That you can tell it's the same like
Exactly.
almost stylist.
Into Pan's Labyrinth and
I was gonna say,
into
he did Pans, right?
right,
Yeah.
no, he
yeah,
could
his
totally do
style's
this.
really good.
and even into like Mama, like the creature in Mama was very Guillermo del Toro-esque.
Didn't see that.
Mama was
I
great
didn't see that.
up until the very end, where it turned into this very mystical, otherworldly thing.
Wasn't
which I
that
didn't
those 2 little girls?
Right.
Yes.
And again, the first half of that film was very good, but I couldn't stand the ending. But anyway, I don't know if he's going to bring any of that into this. It would be weird.
Well, if he gets sequels, he'll get a chance to like redo some of the
Right.
old monsters and do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to see if he adds any of that flair into this. When I initially heard that he had signed on to do The Hobbit, because I don't know if you remember that, he was originally going to direct The Hobbit. And I was like, oh my god, he's going to like Del Toro the entire Hobbit series. It's going to be really weird. But he ended up backing out to get Peter Jackson back on board. But we will see. I'm looking forward to that. But the next one we have on our list is The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Every day, I wake up knowing that the more people I try to save, the more enemies I will make. And it's just a matter of time before I face those with more power than I can overcome.
I'm excited for this.
I
Yeah.
didn't see the first one.
You didn't see the first one?
Really?
No.
Oh.
It takes a lot of heat, and I don't know why it takes so much
Really?
heat.
I
Who did it
just-
get heat from?
No, there's a lot of people in the comic industry, and like a lot of fans that do not like Andrew Garfield, and I don't know. I thought he did a much better job than Tobey Maguire.
Well,
It was different, but
I'm not sure if he was better than Tobey Maguire, but I don't think he should have gotten that much flack for it.
I don't think Tobey Maguire's that great an actor.
I will say
thought
this.
that the Spider-Man movies were kind of campy, and this one was much more. It was darker, but it was more realistic.
I will say this though, as far as the supporting cast, I think Amazing Spider-Man was much better as far as its supporting cast. Emma Stone over Kirsten Dunst. I mean, you can say what you want about Kirsten Dunst, but I loved Emma Stone in that movie.
She's fantastic.
And who is it?
Reese Ivans or whatever. His
right.
name is. He was an amazing villain.
And Gwen's dad.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary was.
He was
I don't-
great.
I don't like Dennis Leary. No.
Oh wait, no wait, is it Dennis Leary?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like the design they did for the lizard, but I mean, it was still really, really good.
Yeah. And as far as this goes, I'm sure you have a lot of stuff to talk about this with Paul, but
I know a lot of stuff.
but obviously the villains in this, we see a couple shots of Rhino, we see a couple shots of Electro, and there's one more, isn't there?
Yep, there's a Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, yeah.
Green Goblin's in it.
So how is this going to work? I mean, you had mentioned what it's going to lead to, but how is this one going to work?
Well, it looks like there's a couple different stories going on.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're going to continue the story of Peter's parents, and that's going to lead to something with Dylan, I think, with Electro.
Okay.
And then in the first movie, Connors had been working on the cure for Osborn,
Right.
and I think that they finally cure him, but I think it's going to be with that suit,
Right.
with the Goblin suit, and then Peter's going to be dealing with this like Russian mobster, like really,
Russian mobster.
this really shitty Russian mobster who then takes on the Rhino role because the Rhino was in the Russian mob.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know very little about the Rhino.
Yeah,
I know a bit about Electro and Green Goblin, but I was a Spider-Man fan when I was younger, but I knew very little about a lot of the villains.
Yeah,
I mean, just the main villains, really.
So the Rhino isn't going to be like the leather-clad or mech suit that we're used to seeing. It looks like it's going to be something out of Zoids.
Oh,
like
okay.
A Rhino Zord.
Oh, God.
Which may or may not be good, depending on how they do it. I was really nervous with
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx doing
Right.
Electro, but it looks like he could do a good job.
Yeah, I have faith in him. There's only ever been one or two films I did not like him in. But, yeah.
And then Norman Osborn is played by... The only thing I can even think was he played the neighbor in American Beauty.
Oh, right, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I forget that actor's name.
Chris something.
Yeah.
Or something Christopher's. I don't know.
Yeah.
So then all of this is going to lead into, now that they've done this at very least, it's going to lead into they're going to do a Sinister Six movie.
Right.
And they're
and that is going to be very interesting.
Yes.
I mean, because I love Sinister Six.
Yeah.
But we'll...
and
now,
it's
do you want
not
to
gonna be...
you want to explain that to Kim and Allison? Because you could probably do a better job than me.
Well, it's just 6 of his most dangerous villains. It was of Spider-Man's most dangerous villains. Basically, he had beaten all of these guys individually, and Dr. Octopus, went and found 5 of his most dangerous foes and said, I want to kill him. And they were like, yeah, so do we. And they were like, so I'm going to hire you guys, and we're going to come together, and we're all going to hit him at once.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. And so he got jumped by 6 different villains, 5 of which were dressed in green, and then Kraven. And he was like, was there a color code? Because I didn't know. And that's like an ongoing joke. So it was like Scorpion, who's green, Mysterio, who wore green, Green Goblin was on it at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Like there have been different incarnations, but it was constantly people in green, and then one person who wasn't. I'm like, what the fuck?
Nice.
And then they've also revealed that they're going to do a Venom movie.
Right.
Which is what they had talked about before they did Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Right, and they practically ruined that Venom.
Oh, just
Yeah.
atrocious.
Yeah. Because it was rushed. It was really rushed.
Well, they tried to do too much.
Oh, yeah. And it was fan response. All the fans wanted to see Venom in Spider-Man 3, and Sam Raimi was trying to say, look, I don't want this character in there yet. He wanted to do Vulture.
Oh, yeah.
And
he wanted to do Vultura. He wanted to do Felicia Harding as the Vulture.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, okay, that wouldn't have been bad if done right, but I would if that's what he wanted to do, then let him do it. You don't rush out Venom.
No, you're right.
Sandman was an interesting character.
Yeah, he was actually my favorite of the characters in that movie.
Yeah.
And I really don't like that actor. So.
And if you had done that, if you had just that villain maybe one other, just Harry, that could have been all right. But no, you had to rush out Venom.
I think part of the issue with the Spider-Man 3 movie, too, was that in the first and second movies, you had characters that you could see how they became.
Right.
And they're fantastical characters, but they're realistic-esque. And then you've got a man made of sand and an alien symbiote that was never explained. So you're just like, how did we go from things that could actually happen to what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it was like an anime show. Just all of a sudden, it's just like hit that crazy episode, and you're like, yo, the next 4 episodes, nobody knows what's going on. We're gonna take these acid tablets so we don't question shit. Just don't fight the high, and then
Pretty
go.
much.
Like Spider-Man 3 had so much wrong with it.
Yeah. It did.
But with everything they're gonna do in this, it runs the risk that something could go wrong.
Right.
Um,
And like you had said before we started recording, this either has the potential to be really, really, really good or really, really, really bad, just because there's so much going on.
and they've hinted at constant Easter eggs, even just in the trailer.
Right.
Like they don't think that this. I mean, they're throwing so much into this that they must not think they're going to get very much response, because you see in the background Vulture's wings and Octavius's arms in one part, and you see. I had to have it pointed out to me, but you see on the screen where Harry's looking at what cameras he's going to access, there's one that says Venom storage.
Right, you mentioned that. Yeah.
So like he's little boy, what's going on, bub? He's getting antsy.
Getting antsy.
I'm gonna go outside in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's a lot going on. It just runs the risk of trying to do too much.
Right. Okay, well, if you want to step outside for this one, because you're not missing a whole lot if we talk about this trailer,
one?
which is The Legend of Hercules.
Yeah.
My mother once gave this as a parting gift to my father. I want you to have it.
I understand you're having some trouble with the arrangements we've made. You sail to Egypt tomorrow.
I wish you endless victories in the battlefield, brother. Because if you return here, I will kill you.
I brought this one up because, Alison, you had brought up, was it Seventh Son last week? Or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I brought it up.
This one, I kind of feel the same way about Seventh Son, where it's not necessary. I look at this and I'm like, what are they bringing to the lexicon of Hercules?
Nothing.
No, again,
I'd seen that trailer before, and I was like, really?
I just think it looked like a
just
a mashup of 3 other movies. What was it? I said Troy, 300,
Gladiator.
and Gladiator.
Gladiator, yeah. It's just an amalgam of all these other movies.
Identity, if
Right,
you're gonna
seriously.
Make a movie about it?
With a little bit of Clash of the Titans thrown in there. Just a
I
hint.
didn't see
yeah.
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it's just so generic.
Yeah.
It's so generic. And again, you can do so much with the character of Hercules. You really can.
And that's what they chose to do.
Yeah, and Alison's
Yeah,
getting another
unfortunately.
cookie. Couldn't you get me another
So why don't
cookie?
you ask her a question right after
Yeah.
she takes a big bite of it, like you did to me?
Wait. He's going to eat some cookie.
Oh,
Okay.
so we get to do it to him. I wanna
So,
try one of
well,
these. So we're all gonna be like that.
sorry, cookie break, guys. We apologize.
That's the rapper you hear?
Don't you want these cookies? There's so much you can do with this character. Now, did you ever watch the old television series Hercules? Did you like it? I thought it was good.
I watched Young Hercules.
I never watched Young Hercules.
I did. That
No,
was.
Kevin Sabo.
I think I was. I don't know. I just never got into that
And,
one.
there's so much you can do with this. And wasn't Hercules in the God of War series?
Yes.
Yeah. And how was he dealt with in that series?
You have to fight him.
Okay.
You have to.
Hercules.
Harris sends him out to fight you,
Okay.
and after you fight him, you get because the Nemean lion.
Yes.
He's supposed to fight it and take its skin. Well, you don't get like a skin. It's like these things you wear on your hands and you punch.
Oh, like gauntlets.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I like the character of Hercules. I think he's a very interesting character. Now, classically written in, I don't know if it was written by Homer or whoever originally wrote about the character of Hercules. It's a very tragic tale. And you can do it so well. If you did like a classical telling of this character and stuck to its original story, this could be really dark and really good at the same time. But they're just trying to Hollywoodize it too much,
Make it too commercial.
Making it way too commercial. They're trying to appeal to so many people with this, to the point that it's just watered down garbage.
Yeah.
There's nothing in here we haven't seen before. The whole thing with the sword gathering lightning. Didn't we see that in Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief?
Oh, that shit looks awesome, though.
It looked cool, but I'm saying there's so much in this that's stolen from other mediums. I don't know, and I know nothing about the actors or the directors. It just looks blah. I'm so sad that it.
Which is really upsetting because I love Greek mythology.
So do I. I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology.
And I would love if they made a really good movie, but it doesn't look like it's going to be it.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, Clash of the Titans had a little bit of that in there, but again, I would say Clash of the Titans recently was the closest thing that ever came to. Actually, hold on a second. Paul, that one's been opened. That one was mine. You can grab another one. By all means, grab another one, but that one's opened. So Paul wanted to grab a drink, and it was my opened vitamin water.
You're gonna absolutely have my not yet digested.
And again, Greek mythology is great, I think, in modern tellings because, in certain ways, the gods were like and this is going to sound really bad, there were the ancient superheroes. I mean, each one had their own powers, their own abilities, and it was unique to each one, and it would be great for certain retellings nowadays.
I don't know, Mike. It's kind of dated. We don't really have those problems anymore.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
We don't. Yeah.
I'm just going to know my
That's
cooking.
such a 90s problem.
It's such a 90s problem.
That's such a ancient history problem.
It really is. Like
Ancient Roman
we have
times.
Christ
whatever,
now, so
Greece.
we don't have to deal with that.
As he just nods.
I'm not.
He just
I'm not
shakes his head. He's like, I'm done. I'm done, guys.
It's just kind of dated. It's just.
But moving on from that, we have a trailer that made Kim kind of angry, which was Interstellar.
We've always defined ourselves by the ability to overcome the impossible. And we count these moments.
The first ever to fly faster than the speed of sound.
These moments when we dared to aim higher, to break barriers, to reach for the stars,
76, you are go.
to make the unknown known.
Oh, God.
I don't understand because I watched it
Uh-huh.
and then I keep seeing other things about it. I'm like, wait, what? That's what that trailer was about? Like I saw a thing that was like Christopher Nolan's time travel story. What? Is that what that means?
Wait,
Is it?
how do we get time travel out of this?
I thought
Exactly.
it was just about like a space launch and us going to space.
What?
Yeah.
I thought.
That's what I thought.
And I was
saw
like, that's
something-
it?
Yeah.
And then I saw like some meme that was like Christopher Nolan's introduction to like time travel movies in Interstellar, and I was like, wait, maybe I need to watch that trailer again. Did I miss something?
No, you didn't miss a thing. Because it literally tells you nothing. Not only that, and Kim mentioned this, and you want to explain what you basically said the first time you saw it?
Yeah, right after it was over, I said, I don't think I've ever been so bored watching a trailer.
Oh, yeah.
before."
Yeah, I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like, fuck, is this a
Exactly.
What is this?
And
What
not
if
only
I
that,
the
I actually
point.
think I finished watching the trailer. I was like, I think I'm done.
no,
I don't
not only
get it.
that, but it is the laziest trailer you'll ever see. 90% of the trailer is stock footage.
Yeah.
It's like they just pulled up clips of launches and people landing on the moon and, the
Or, like,
shuttle
other
launches.
news,
Yeah,
like
news
newsreel
clips, yeah.
things.
Like I see,
I'm like, I get it. I did that. I was there. Come on.
I went to the moon.
I
know.
went to the moon. I did that.
I think
know.
That's so 90s.
God, it's not even an issue anymore.
Yeah, like you just see clips of like news.
Dated
Like, there was
information.
like Walter Cronkite on there, and like just stock. It's ridiculous. Like Christopher Nolan. If you're gonna advertise your film, advertise your fucking film.
They were probably like, yo, Chris, what are you doing? I'm doing this movie. What's it about? Space. Why? Nah, it's cool. We just made a trailer. It's cool.
Now,
Who's in it? Costner? Yeah, we got a picture of him.
no, this is something that I should bring up, and we've never really discussed it before. But a lot of times, directors. Wow, a lot of times directors don't have direct hands onto their own trailers. A lot of times it's onto the distributor, and the distributor builds the trailer for the director.
Yeah, they're busy.
They are busy. They're very busy, but that's just it. We always talk about how trailers reveal too much, but that's not of the director's doing. Because the studio is just putting out the image that they want to put out there, that, this is what they think you should see in order to get you into the theater.
Well, I think
I
they missed the
maintain-
mark with this one.
Yeah.
I maintain that Abrams, because by the end of this trailer, the only thing I thought was, this reminds me of that fucking J.J. Abrams movie with a guy coming out of the water with no mouth.
J.J.
Stranger.
Abrams is doing the Star Wars 6.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.
Seven.
They already did 6.
7.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Sorry.
You can sit in the car.
It's so 90s.
Why does this keep coming
so
back to
dangerous.
me? For the love of God.
Because you say dumb shit.
Oh my God.
You said something stupid.
I always say stupid shit.
Yes, but that was just different types of stupid.
Oh, for God's sake.
No, we don't even have to deal with that. That's yesterday's problem.
Yeah. It was in my Entertainment Weekly. I was like, what? Really? Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't understand that trailer, so...
Well, here's the funny thing about
Why don't we review the second trailer that they released and see if it reveals more?
Well, there was a second
right,
trailer,
the next one.
and it was revealed that it is not a movie. It is a book. He made a trailer for a book.
What?
What?
Yeah.
So why are we reviewing it?
No one knew what
I'm
it
so
was.
confused. What are you talking about?
Do you remember the Stranger... Okay.
Wait, what?
Do you remember the Stranger trailer that we watched about the guy coming out of the water? And
That's a book?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's a book.
Yes.
I think Interstellar was a
No!
book. I was like, wait,
No, God!
I know, right? Trailer.
Follow me here!
Years.
We had just brought up the J.J. Abrams Stranger trailer. That's what I was talking about.
So J.J. Abrams wrote a book? Or he's just
He made
promoting
a
someone
I
else's
think he may
book?
have had a hand in it, but I don't think he wrote it. I think
Okay.
he was. He made
So when does this not movie come out?
I
So
have
that we
no
can
idea.
not watch it.
I think the
Yeah.
book was already released, and they talked about it on the Colbert Report. I think.
Well, I feel like you now need... You owe me those 3 minutes back in the
Oh, for
form of
God's sake.
buying all of us that book. And reading it to us. We'll have a book club. So we'll do. Once a week, we'll get together and you'll read us from the book
Snippets
until
from
we
the book.
finish. No, not snippets. The
Oh,
entire
the whole
thing.
Okay.
And we'll follow along.
Wow.
I'm supposed to remember a whole week what happened.
No, nobody
Dude,
actually
it's gonna
gives a
take us
shit
like
what the book's
10
about.
years.
It's a torture process. We won't actually listen. We'll only follow along to make sure he's reading all the words. He'll skip 12 pages. Hey, motherfucker.
Hey, yo, you missed a word. Go back.
It's like in Santa Claus when he's
Start
reading
the
them,
story
you
over.
know, 12 night before Christmas. Downstairs, flew like a flash, a mini year stray.
Rose such a clatter, blah, blah, blah.
And
And all a good night.
I was talking to somebody at work the other day, and we were talking about how when we were younger, our parents used to read us stories, and they would always skip pages. Like, they'd read every other page. I was like, I remember my aunt reading me Cinderella when I was younger, and thinking, every time she reads me this, I feel like it's different. And finally, like, what are you chasing, Appa?
Appa is trying to bite at the ceiling. I don't know
Appa's
what
after
he's...
something. If there's a reflection of light, he'll go after it.
Maybe.
It could be like a car driving by outside.
Oh, that
could
could
be
be
it,
it.
He's... Bless you.
Goodness, buddy.
He's allergic to not getting what he wants. Yeah, and then finally I was like, oh, I don't
Or
think that
eggnog.
bitch... Or eggnog. He does not like liquor.
Or peanut butter.
That's me. He loves peanut butter.
What's up?
Oh, goodness.
Hello, face. I'm not sure the dogs are allowed on these couches.
Well, dogs are fine on the couches.
I mean, the
Oh, goodness.
That might be why
apparently the dogs are allowed in the couch, too.
But okay,
Okay, so The Stranger is a book.
Right.
And
And
Interstellar
Interstellar is a boring
actually
fucking
a
trailer.
movie.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Please.
Yeah. And the next show we're moving on to, which, again, staying in space, but looks much more interesting, is Jupiter Ascending.
You're the perfect hunting machine. Fearless. Relentless. You've been searching for one thing your whole life. And she's down there.
Make sure this is the right one. It's her. Good. Kill her.
I'm here to help you.
Yo, I'm actually really excited over this, because Channing Tatum is actually... What? Fucker?
What are you
Tatum is
barking
actually
at,
a
Appa?
decent actor, and Mila Kunis is fucking sexy. I don't care how gay I ever get. I will tear her up.
Wow. No, this... I don't know if this is based off a series of books or if it's something brand new. I don't know, but this looks really intriguing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what is it, John Carter of Mars-ish, you know.
Except more interesting. 'cause I
Yeah, much more interesting.
Fucking hated that movie.
I never saw it.
It was so goddamn boring. And it's like a really old story, too.
It is.
Mythologically old.
They advertised that movie as... They advertised it as the story that inspired Star Wars. Did you
John
ever see
Carter?
that? Yeah.
Really?
When they first advertising John Carter of Mars, they said, "Oh, this is a story that inspired Star Wars for George Lucas." And we're like, "Really?"
Did he punch somebody in the throat for saying that?
I don't know. But
Because he's kind of pissy.
yeah, but this
Just saying.
this looks really intriguing. It's the whole idea of, just in our own solar system, there's dozens of different species that we don't know about. And I like that. We're always looking past in other galaxies, and this story comes like, no, they're in our own solar system.
Well, because I thought they give up on that because they were like, is there life on the moon? Oh, no, there's not. What about Mars? No. What about the other ones? Well, several of them aren't solid, so probably not.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, can we just fly through them? No, that's probably not safe. I'm so confused, and you always will be.
But
what did you do today? I drove through Saturn. How'd that go? Very, very foggy.
I wow.
Oh my.
I'm Appa, what are you
Appa has
doing?
something to say.
What do you have to say, Appa?
Appa. All right. Well, before the podcast becomes the Appa cast, I will say that I'm not the biggest fan of Channing Tatum. Never have been.
He's actually kind of won me over.
Well, the first thing I ever liked him in was Side Effects, and he was okay in Side Effects.
I don't know that I ever saw Side Effects.
It was good. It came out early last year.
Oh.
Or
Early this year?
or early this year. Sorry, but almost to the point of Hitchcockian, but very intriguing. I liked it. It was a kind of a knock on the whole pharmaceutical industry.
Okay.
But a very interesting way to end the film, and I was like, that was really well done, and a really good cast behind it too. And he was the first time I ever saw him, and I'm like, okay, he's not just a meathead now. He actually is giving a good performance.
Well, his performance, and I know you're going to judge me for saying this, his performance in Magic Mike actually wasn't terrible. Like, there was this whole other side of the movie than just the strippers that actually wasn't terrible.
But you had to get past the strippers.
You had to get past the strippers, which for us was fine. We had no issue getting past the strippers. We were like, wait, can we watch that again? I think they might have done that wrong. I just want to watch one more time.
I can see that in the theater. Like, do you have a reverse?
Yeah.
Screaming.
Hey, can you rewind that real quick? Don't you lie to me, bitch. That's digital. You better go back a frame. The film's already rolled. Bitch! Kill you. No, but he's actually not a terrible actor. I'm trying to think of the first movie I saw him in that I actually really liked him. It's not really coming to me.
But so don't say G.I. Joe. For the love of God, don't say G.I. Joe.
No, he actually was decent in... I didn't see the first one. He was the only part of the second one that I liked.
Retribution? Retaliation, Retribution, whatever it was called.
Whatever.
He was only in the film for like 10 minutes.
And that movie was garbage.
Yeah.
But his part of the movie in the beginning... like, seemed really natural. Like, you got to see him with his family and, like, or the family of the Rock's family or whoever. And, like, it seemed natural. And I was like, he's actually not terrible. And then I saw him in, what was the fucking movie where he's in with Rachel McAdams? Where she loses her memory?
What is that called?
Like, he plays, like, that really, like, wannabe smooth pseudo-douche really well. But, like, it's, I don't know, it just seems natural. I wish I could think of what the first thing I saw him in where I actually looked at him and went, that actually wasn't terrible. And so when I saw this trailer, I didn't look at it and go, well, this is going to fucking suck because he's in it. I was like, all right, well, I've given him a chance and he's done a decent job and she's a great actress and the story looks interesting.
There's never been a film that she's been in that I haven't liked. And as far as...
Oh, no.
Well, wait, what?
Fucking Oz. Yo, that movie was garbage. My dog's under your TV stand.
What are you doing, Hop? Oh. Oh, I'm surprised he got under there. Wow.
I woke up one morning and he was under my nightstand and I didn't know where he was because he sleeps under my bed. Like, where are you? And there's like this tiny little like octopus. Like he just like squeezes out and he's like, "What's up, Daddy?" Like, how did you do that? Like, no, it's not that low.
I don't like that they gave him elfin ears in this film, though.
Oh, that
was weird looking. And I'm like, I don't want to see Channing Tatum as an elf.
You don't know? God, haven't you been to Jupiter? Kim and I went to Jupiter last week. That's what they look like.
Totally.
God, dummy.
When did you trip acid again?
We got in. I bought this.
We drove through Jupiter.
Yeah, we drove through Saturn and we went to Jupiter. I don't really know.
Jupiter would be before.
Shut up!
Interstellar or whatever.
I got turned around.
We actually drove past and then back.
I had to shortcut through Saturn.
If you hit Uranus, you've gone too far.
She did hit my anus.
Oh,
No way.
too
What?
easy.
What? No, we got in my white van with the New York license plate and we went.
I was
like,
kidnapped into the white van.
I see.
I was like, yo, Kim, there's some candy back there. And she's like, really?
Oh, piece of candy.
Candy.
And then a couple of hours later, she's like, where are we going? And I was like, we're going to Jupiter. And she's like, we passed Jupiter like 40 minutes ago. And I'm like, fuck. She's like, just go through Saturn. It's all right. Turn your
Totally
hydrant.
happened.
But anyway, I'll say a couple more things before we move on.
Saw
to
the
our final
TARDIS. She
trailer.
was like, look, it's the doctor. And I was like, yo, that motherfucker's a terrible driver. We just got to go. We going to crash.
I will say this. I love the visual style of this trailer. It looks kind of Blade Runner-ish.
It does.
It
made me think of the Total Recall trailer.
Right.
It made me think of that and a little bit of what was that movie you loaned me? Dark World?
Dark City.
Dark City.
Right.
It kind of had that kind of feel.
That too, yeah. And it's, not film noir, but almost like almost sci-fi film noir, which is kind of a weird look, but it works well. I think
that's what Dark City was.
Yeah. And it's cool. It's a very interesting visual style. Kind of hyper stylized colors, but still those dark, angular shadows everywhere. And it's a cool visual style. I like that. Again, this trailer, oh, for God's sake, stop taking the mic away.
Had something to say.
Yeah, he says play with the ball is what he's saying.
He said, look, I got a ball.
No, it's more like, Daddy, I don't want you to take my ball. I like your ball.
This trailer doesn't reveal a whole lot other than, hey, there's other aliens in our solar system, and this chick is apparently a princess of some sort, and that's really
That's
it.
the only part that I don't really not
Yeah.
too sure about.
What, her being a princess?
Yeah.
Mike's a princess.
I knew that.
That's the only thing that's kind of strange, but other than that, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really cool film. And even if it's like, boring as hell or really bad,
it'll be pretty.
It'll be pretty.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. Yeah, what'd you think of that movie? Yeah, that movie sucked.
And there are sometimes films like that. For example, Speed Racer. Speed Racer was a bad film, but you could go in there and just watch the colors. Avatar, another one. I mean,
that movie.
But
Passion.
visually, it's a great film. But the plot is so damn generic. Oh my God.
They're like, yo, you ever seen that? Yeah, I saw Pocahontas when I was little.
Yeah, it's Dances with Wolves in Space. That's all it is.
Fucking Pocahontas. Like, shit.
Yeah.
But moving on to our final trailer, which I just added the other day because it was just released, is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
We've been through hell together. We spent 4 years. 4 years! Fighting that virus and then another 4 fighting each other. It was chaos. But you all know what we're up against. I need to speak to Caesar!
And for the love of God, someone give Andy Serkis an Oscar. This guy is putting in so much work into Hollywood.
What else is he doing?
Well, I mean...
well, he wasn't in the second Hobbit, was he?
No.
It was like he shouldn't have been.
No, he wasn't. No. Which is a shame because...
He shouldn't have been.
He shouldn't have been, but I want him to get as much work as possible because I think he's...
I heard that movie was terrible, by the way.
The most recent one?
Yeah, I have not heard... You don't have an attachment to that tennis ball, do you?
My favorite tennis ball.
Because I'm telling you,
Papa.
he'll skin it and then he'll cut it open.
Does he just eat the stuff off the tennis ball?
No, he the breed was created to hunt and kill. They don't really come back, though. They didn't get all the breeding right. So he guts things, and then he just leaves it.
Okay.
So, like, right after I met Steve, we're talking in the kitchen, and he's holding the stuffed animal. And Appa's standing there. All of a sudden, I realized that both Appa and the stuffed animal are gone. I'm like, where's that stuffed animal? He's like, oh, I gave it to Appa. When? And he's like, oh, like a minute ago. Where did he go? He's like, in the living room. That stuffed animal's gone. And he's like, what? And we walked in, and he slid it open, and he pulled the stuffing out, and he looked up at me with the carcass, Daddy, look what I did. And Steve
Aren't you proud of me?
Steve was like, oh my God, that was my old dog's favorite toy. And I was like, yeah, this dog is a killer. Like, Shelties take care of things. Shebas kill them. So,
That's great.
he has a tennis ball at my house that he did this to. He tore all the foam off. Or the, whatever that is.
I wonder if he wanted that tennis ball so bad. He's like, oh my God, new tennis ball!
Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to this trailer.
Balls.
Andy Serkis is doing work. Like, did you see Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal.
It was a great movie.
I thought that the scene where is Caesar's the ape in the first movie, right?
Yeah.
When he's basically running down the street, but through the trees to
Right.
go after the dog.
Right.
I remember seeing that and I was like, that's what Spider-Man used to look like.
Yes.
Like, we need to see him going through shit like that. And with the Andrew Garfield thing, they kind of did that. So, no, I really, really liked it. And I was surprised. The only thing I didn't like about the first movie, and I maintain, that they should have given the line to somebody else. Because they fucking gave it to Draco Malfoy.
Oh, right.
And I was really mad that they gave it to him.
I know. That was upsetting.
But other than that, it's a great
But
movie.
there were still some really cool references in that. Like, you, at one point, you see the ship from the first Planet of the Apes taking off. And then you see it's gone missing in another headline or something like that. And this trailer, you see a big spread in the woods of, like, a ship that's come down. Or something along those lines. You don't know exactly what, but it's like this big, big crater that's torn a path through the woods, which could be reference to that. We don't know. But Andy Serkis right now, I think, is the best physical actor in Hollywood. I mean, this guy can mimic the movements of these creatures so well. I mean, he obviously was Gollum, and he became that creature.
And he was Abe Sapien in the first one.
Wait, are you sure?
He was Abe Sapien's body in the first movie. And then, David Hyde Pierce was the voice. And then David Hyde Pierce did both in the second movie.
Okay. Because I could have sworn David Hyde Pierce was the actual guy in the first one.
Nope. In the second one, he was the body. Because he wanted a bigger part in the movie.
Okay. Fair enough. I did not know that. Now I have more respect for Andy Serkis. The punishment he goes through. I mean, I know a lot of it's just motion capture, but when you watch Return of the King and you watch the special features, when they would do live motion capture on, real sets, like they'd shoot in New Zealand and they go out and, have him shooting right next to a waterfall and you see him, thrashing around in those rapids and stuff. And it's amazing work. And in this, how he mimics the movement of these apes so well is astounding to me. I don't know how you get to that point as an actor, that you can mimic their movements that well. And the facial expressions that he can make on this creature, for Caesar. Oh, goodness, Appa.
He's okay.
But don't eat the tennis ball.
Breathe, dummy.
It's astounding. And I pray that this movie gets people talking about how not only is this guy a good voice actor, but he's also one of the best physical actors in Hollywood, and that physical actors, despite the fact that their face isn't on screen, that their physical performance deserves an Oscar. And I don't know if anyone's listening to me because they're watching Appa hack.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
As Paul pats his belly.
Okay.
You okay, bud?
He's like, oh my goodness, just gave me the Paul.
Apparently,
Paul Dad.
we're taking an Appa break. Apparently.
Yeah, we are. Dude, there needs to be a video of this for this part of the break.
I've actually never seen him stay up that long.
But
I really wanted the tennis ball.
I am loving the fact that. Okay, we'll keep breaking.
We're listening to you.
What? You love the fact that
I love the fact that Gary Oldman is in this.
I knew you would love that.
He's one of my favorite actors.
He really is.
Who was I talking to?
And at first, for his voice, I'm like, I know that voice. And then I saw it in the trailer. I just saw him for a split second. I'm like, oh my god, Gary Oldman is in this. Hell yes. Now again, I don't know if James Franco is in this or not.
I didn't see him in the
I didn't see him at all.
I don't really care because I kind of don't like him. But he actually wasn't terrible in the first movie.
No, I thought he was quite
Lithgow?
good.
Was that his dad?
Yes. And he was great in the first film. And I was really sympathetic to that character because, again, my grandfather had Alzheimer's.
And Steve's mom has Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and I was really sympathetic towards that cause because, and I'm sympathetic for what he's trying to do. I mean, if I was in his shoes, would I do anything to try and find a cure for Alzheimer's? Oh, most assuredly I would. If I was that type of guy who had that technology behind me, why wouldn't I go that far, And so I was very sympathetic towards that character. As far as this goes, I don't think there's going to be anything nearly as intriguing as that in this film. I have a feeling it's going to be much more action and much more, humanity actually fighting the apes this time around.
I just want to see that gorilla again.
Oh yeah.
The gorilla in the
that was a
first movie.
badass gorilla.
The gorilla in the first movie died.
But no, I am really, really excited for this. Again, the trailer has not revealed a whole lot, but
Which is good and bad. Like, I feel like the stuff that they revealed until the very end of the movie, I'm like, what the fuck is this trailer? Are you sure you didn't link us the wrong thing?
But not only that, but I would have liked to have seen more of Caesar in the trailer. You only see him for about...
It's just basically a teaser, it seems like.
Yeah. And this is something I want to talk about. We may end up starting checking out second trailers eventually.
That's what I said about Interstellar.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we should do a secondary review on stuff that we don't fucking
We'll
understand.
do revisits. Yeah. Because I feel like at certain points when we get to a first teaser, it doesn't reveal anything. But when we'll eventually get like the main trailer released just before the movie comes out, we can talk about it again and see what else has been released. So
because sometimes there's like 3 or 4 trailers.
Yeah. There's usually a teaser and then 3 or 4 trailers released for a movie.
Yeah.
So how about that? We'll start doing revisits. How about that?
If we need. Yeah.
If we need to,
for stuff like Interstellar and this, just because this one, all we really have to base on is the last one, and the last one was great, but we've seen great movies go down.
And again, the first one had much more than just the apes in it. It was much more not only a character study of Caesar, but what these people are going through with Caesar.
And it was interesting too in the first movie was that when it was introduced, it really seemed like, oh wow, Hollywood has no new ideas.
Right.
They can't do anything new. And then you go into this movie and they did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. Like, it was a very new idea.
Right.
It was a new idea for an old story.
Right.
And I remember leaving that going, this is not what I expected.
Right. And I said the same thing going in, because initially, I don't know if you know this, but the movie was titled Rise of the Apes. And Hollywood execs came out and said, oh, no one's going to get that this is tied to Planet of the Apes.
Right.
So we have to change the title.
Yeah.
So they changed it to Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Just so people would get that this is tied to those movies.
And
I'm like, if
How
that's
could you not?
I wouldn't have gathered that.
Oh.
But and
I would have said, I would have made the joke.
Like, oh, this is just like...
Yeah, and then I would have gone in and be like, oh shit, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that
Why
they were
didn't they just
doing
call it
that,
this?
the fact that they were doing that they were trying to bank so much off the originals told me, oh, maybe they don't have a whole lot of faith in the
Right.
screenplay. But then when I saw it, I was like, holy hell. They spent a lot of time on this.
Astounding.
Yeah.
So going off the last one, when I saw, because you sent us the trailer yesterday, but 3 days ago I was sent a link for the trailer, and when I went to view it, it was removed, and
Really?
then the next day I was sent another link from somebody else, and I got to see it, and I was like, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, let's fucking roll. And then all I got to see was Caesar with like his face painted like Brother Voodoo, and I'm like, no, it's cool, let's fucking do it. I'm down, let's roll.
And that's the only disappointing part of this teaser. I wanted to see more of him. But again, it is just a teaser.
Yeah,
and
really, the first Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie, they didn't really show him that much.
No.
Or they did, but it was like, it looked more like Marley and Me with a monkey. It was like, oh, look at my monkey. Oh, my dad is sick. Oh, my jeez. Look, I gave you. It was like flowers for Algernon. It was like, I gave you a drug. And then it was like, all of a sudden, it was like the gorilla jumping at the helicopter, and you're like, wait, what? And then it's like, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And you're like, shit just got real.
Yeah. So,
we made a wrong turn.
Yeah.
And that's something I really am looking forward to seeing, because something I really liked about the first movie was that there wasn't, at the end of the movie, you couldn't really say that there was a villain.
Right.
I mean, Draco Malfoy's character was a fuck, and I was glad that he got...
But he had no
happened to him.
power. Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the movie, it's the humans versus the apes. But you can't look at either side and go, no, you're wrong. Because the humans are trying to defend against the apes that, yes, they were experimenting on, but the apes are fighting for their freedom. And you're like, no, I can see both sides of this. something bad is going to happen.
Right.
And so as we see this develop, we're gonna see this almost like Magneto Brotherhood growth of we're overpowering you, and we as the audience are gonna have to make that side of, well, who's wrong in this? And nobody's going to actually realize that they have to make that decision, because Hollywood does a decent job of hiding that.
Right.
But you're going to have to leave the audience or leave the movie at one point going, where do I stand?
And that's where I was on the first film, and I made the stance of fuck the humans.
Yeah, I mean,
because
monkeys are going to win.
We kind of know the monkeys are going to win. We don't know that for a fact, but we're going to kind of assume that the monkeys are going to win.
I've seen it. You know what? With everything being sequels now, we are Time Lords. We're like, no, we know how this shit happens. It's okay. We know what's going to happen. We're like, I don't want to grow up and be this. And you're like, shut up. Batman saved you, but you grow to be Joffrey. Fuck you. Should have let him die. You're lucky this shit was a fixed point in time, you motherfucker. Off the shit out of you. Winter's coming.
Do that joke the other day. It's like, yeah, you visit other planets? Oh, yeah, all the time. So, my home planet blew up. Oh, yes, Krypton. Sorry, fixed moment in time. Couldn't do much about it.
Yeah, did you see him post that?
No.
It was one of the other GLs is talking to, was it one of the Guardians? It's his first mission, and he's like, it'll be an easy mission. Go to Krypton, do this.
Right.
And he's like, I went, and he's like, and it blew up. I didn't know what to do, this and that. I'm really sorry. And he's like, and there was a blue box. Like, I don't even know what that was. And then the last text was from David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, and he was like, right, sorry about that, fixed point in time. Which means that you can't change it. A fixed point is something that it was so important to the time stream that if you change it, time itself will unravel or fix it. It'll put it back. Yeah. It'll find a way to make it happen. So if you were supposed to die and he saved you, the universe will find a way to correct that.
Like Final Destination. No, I'm just kidding.
Kind of. So,
but
or True Calling.
Right.
Everybody hated that show. I love that.
To finish up this podcast, and not really do any of our trailers, but I just want to say one thing. I told you about this. I told everyone about it, but as of a few weeks ago, it was confirmed that Spill.com was going down. Mm-hmm. And as of yesterday, it looks like this is the case, but it looks like the site has officially been brought down. They actually brought it down 2 weeks early, which is shocking. They said they're going to be up until the 31st. And that'll give you enough time to download all the old podcasts and download the old reviews. Well, Hollywood.com said, fuck that, and they just took down the site early. They wanted their bandwidth back. So the site, while you can take back doors into the site and still find some of the old stuff, for all intents and purposes, the site is gone. And, I know no one really here was really into Spill that much. I mean, you knew about it just because you're on my films, but... this site really was my internet home for about 4 years.
It was like a father to me.
Yeah, I know. He got all serious and emotional.
No, it's sad. It's really sad because there was such a good community with this site.
Well, I mean, now that your internet's gone or your site's gone, maybe you should start a dating profile and you should get a girlfriend. Who knows that she's your girlfriend?
But
Kim's sitting here like, wait, what happened? Why would you need
insulted by this?
But as far as
every time you wake up next to her, you should get insulted. You should look at yourself and go, "Fuck,
what have I come to?"
Well,
never mind.
No,
Zing.
Well played.
You.
But
talk about setup.
Not intentional.
As far as Spill,
parents don't listen to these, do they?
No, I hope not. As far as Spill goes, I just want to say, all the members of the crew, Corey, Chris, Martin, Tony, and Mr. Cargill, as far as anyone who's worked there, Peter, Amanda, you've all done a fantastic job with this site.
You've all inappropriately touched Mike's life.
And it's a real shame that it's going down. Now, again...
Even that little head with the apocalypse mouth.
What?
Say what now?
The co-host. He had the little. Oh. He had the apocalypse lips.
Oh, right.
And Sabanyo.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, it's co-host. As far as the site going on, the Corey Coleman's opening up something else. We don't know what it is just yet. He's gonna have something else online. But there's still other places you can go. forcebill1ofus.net or Lounge Geeks or Rage Select or Dr. Nerdlove.
Or I
Sorry.
could just have sex
Yeah.
and a social life.
But
Gonna pick those probably.
but I just wanted, I'm going to raise my non-existent drink at the moment because I finished it to
It's
spill and say thank you to everyone on the site because your work was not lost on this critic. So thank you guys.
I think I saw a couple of the things, so it is really sad that it's going away.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun doing the movie, so.
Yeah. And a lot of what I've learned was from those films. I've learned so much as far, but just, the craft of screenwriting and actually doing film production. So
I learned how to die.
What?
And then I learned
You
how to
died
not
a lot.
die. I only died once. I was supposed to die the second time and I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
was
we
gonna
had to
make
do
me
that
so
scene a lot, so you actually died a lot.
Just
Just to get that one perfect shot. You had to die a lot of times.
Yes, you did.
Where
then
did
just
you
lay
even
there.
go? Did you? I don't even know what happened to the hookers. Like, did they just stay in the bar?
They just stayed inside. They were apparently just
We were
huddling in a
cool.
corner together.
Nobody wanted to kill us.
Gangs.
No,
We
Corey
didn't
would.
attack anyone.
Corey would never kill the hookers ever. He would never hurt them.
I hope his wife watches this. You were friends with hookers?
Is that all you want to touch on, Paul?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming by before Christmas time. I know it's really busy right now with all your schedules, but thanks
I
for
work
stopping
2
in.
jobs, and both of those jobs are like busy as shit because we got open enrollment.
And your third job is cleaning up after Appa.
I see that.
But I know it's extremely busy right now. I know we're all going to probably start traveling pretty soon. But I want to thank you guys for stopping by during these busy holidays and, allowing us to record a little bit. And hopefully we'll be back one more time before the New Year's.
We'll try.
If we can try and fit that in. But I want to thank Kim for stopping by. I want to thank Mr. Superhuman Aficionado for stopping by. And I want to thank Miss 3-Star Sapphire for stopping by.
And Appa.
And Appa. I want to thank Appa for stopping by.
Bat dog!
And hopefully we'll be back soon with one more to end this year. So thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good night and take care.
Say bye, little boy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, oh. No.
Ho, 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 ho.
Bye.
It's a terrible thing to say about yourself.
Aw.